Hello everyone, welcome to BI Consulting Pro. This is another episode of our series Design Effective Reports in Power BI. And in today's video, I'm going to discuss about Power BI report filters. Whenever you are working on Power BI or you are appearing for any interview, there would be questions on Power BI report filters. And you should know that how to apply those filters, what are those kinds of filters, and also in case you are working on any analytical reports, then it becomes at most important to apply different slices and filters into your report. Or even when you are working on dashboards, then you should also be aware about whether you can apply or you cannot. So enough all the talking, let's get started. So let's discuss the agenda for today's video. In today's video, first you would get the answers of our last module. Then following that, you would get to know what are the different filters in Power BI report. After that, I'm gonna show you into my desktop application what are those filters and where you can find them. Following that also, we are gonna discuss about design report with slicers. And then we are going to discuss about design reports by using advanced filtering techniques. What are those techniques? You will get to know in this video. We will also discuss about apply consumption time filtering. And then we are going to discuss one of the very important topic, slicers versus filters. What is the difference between them? What are the advantage and disadvantage of each of them? And lastly, I'm going to explain you the quick tips. But don't worry, at the end of this video, as usual, you will get to know some of the questions and I'll request you to answer them in the comment section. In the next video, I'm gonna show you the answers for these questions as well. Now we are gonna head over to the module 3 answers, and over here you will get the answers for the questions that I asked you in the last module. Now you can compare these answers with your answers and you can pause the screen as well if you would like to. Now we are moving forward. So the very first concept or the very first topic that I would like to highlight over here, the types of filters. Generally we know that there are basically three types of filters like report level, page level and visual level. But no, this is not it. There are other kinds of filters as well. For example, RLS, that is row level security. That means the filters that you are applying to your data set. For example, you are sharing your report to a person, but you would like to restrict one country data for that particular person or your colleague. So in that case, row level security plays a crucial part. That means you are already filtering that your data set for one particular country. So that is the data set RLS. And last one is the measure one. So the measure, whenever we are writing the DAX, that is the data analysis expressions, so in that also we can apply the filtering. If you would like to know how to apply filtering in a measure, then please check our tutorials, that is DAX Sundays, and over there you will get to know all the different DAX expressions and how you can apply the filtering in them. Now it's time to see how it actually works on your Power BI desktop, where you can find all these filters and where you can apply. So guys, this is my financial report that I have just created for you to explain all those filtering experience and all. Over here, first I'll go to my data model. Here I have this financial data which is provided by the Power BI desktop team itself, and then I have created one separate date table and I have made a relationship between them, which you can see it's one to many. Now, if you would like to see the data for the date table, you can see I have date, month year, month year sort, and month name column. Then we have our financial data where you will see that you have segment, country, product, discount, profit, etc. You can also access the same data onto your Power BI desktop application. Please download the latest version of Power BI desktop application and then try the sample data. Now let's head over back to our report. Over here you can see I have my title, then I have the slicers, which is a country slicer on the top, then I have also the month year, or basically it's a date slicer, it's not a month year. So I have that date slicer on the top. Then we have on our right hand side 3 different KPIs where I'm checking sales by date, COGS by date, or profit by date. And then I have a chart over here which is a bar chart. Actually it's bar cum line chart. You can find it on your visualization pane. And here I am checking the sales by month here, as well as I'm checking the profit. Now coming back to the filters, the very first filter that I discussed with you is the filter for dataset RLS, that how to apply. For that you have to come to your modeling tab, and here you have to click on manage roles, and here you can create the roles. So let's click on this. I have already created one role over here by the name of country, but where would you like to apply this role? So I want to apply this on financial table, and over here I'm saying my financial data set should be filtered for the country of Canada. That's it you have to do, and you can cancel it. If you want to create another role, you can do the same. You can come to the date table or financial where you would like to apply that filter, and here you have to write your expression. If you would like to know more about the row level security, then I have already created multiple videos on that topic on our channel. Please go over there and watch that. I'll provide you again the link in the description section, and please don't forget to share your feedback over there. Now let's cancel that and let's see how the data is going to appear. But before that, I want to filter my data just for the slicer that I have on the top of my report, like for example Canada. And here you can clearly see that the total sales is 3.96 million. Now if I'll apply my RLS over here and I'll see my view as, that means I can view my role over here, and I would like to see my role that I have created, that is country. Click OK, and here you would see the same sales is gonna appear over here, and the whole report has been filtered it out. Now I'm gonna stop it. Now we are going to discuss about 3 main filters. That means we have to discuss about the report filters, page level filters, and the visual filter. If you will come over here on your right hand side, you would find this one pane which is filters pane. You can hide or unhide by going into the view tab, and here you will see these filters. If you would hide this, it's gonna go away. Otherwise you have to click again over here to view this pane. Now this is my filter pane, and over here right now, if you haven't selected any of the visualization, you would see this is a filters on this page and filters on all the pages. All the pages means on this complete report the filters you would like to apply. For example, there is a product, so you can apply for one product. All the pages on this report is gonna filter it out with this product name. If you would like to apply filter on this page only, then for example I have my year, I can go to the advanced filtering or basic filtering. So please remember that there are 2 kinds of filtering, advanced level or basic level. So basic level you can choose them manually, like 2014 or 2013, the way you would like. So that's how you can choose these, because over here my selection over here is in 2014 only majorly, so that's why there is no record. But that's a separate discussion, we are not gonna do that. The main important point over here is that you can apply the advanced level filtering as well, and here you will get a lot of other options. That means is less than, equals to, greater than, not blank, blank, all these options. Plus you can apply the logic over here as well. That means whether you want to apply in AND situation or the OR. So all these are over there, but then you have to click on this apply filter. Now the another important point over here is whether you want to lock this. Lock means if you are going to display this filter to the end users, they cannot make any change over there. So please mindful before applying these filters. Second one is to hide. You can even hide this, just need to click on this, and when this report is going to publish, nobody can see this filter. You can even hide this filters pane as well. So these are the options that you can cover over here. Now the last option is if you would like to apply the filter on any visualization. For example, this is my visualization. Here I would like to apply the filter. So what I can do, I can see over here the filters on this visual. So already whatever fields are going to be used into your visualization, they are going to appear over here. Additionally, if you would like to apply any other filter as well on this report, you can just directly come over here in the fields pane and drag and drop the kind of filter that you would like to apply over here. For example, if I'll say product, so I can just bring product over here and then I can select. Again over here you would find the multiple options, advanced, basic, and then there is the top N. That means if you would like to see only the top 10 products by sales over here, then you can apply top 10, or even you can apply the bottom 10. Just choose whatever you want and then click, and then in this by value field you have to bring the field that you would like to apply. For example, by sales, and then just apply. So you would see over there the sales only for the top 10 products. That's what you can do. Now this is the filters pane, but what about the slicers? So slicers and filters both are almost same, but there are some advantages and disadvantages of each of them, and you should try to minimize, or you should try to use only one. Otherwise end user can get confused. They wouldn't get to know, okay, which one to use. Or even if you are applying filters and slicers basically would be in your report that would be visible to the end user, and you can hide the filters pane so there won't be any confusion for the end user as well. Now coming to the slicers. So far we have understand the dataset RLS, that is the one filter. Then we came to the report, visual and page level filters. Slicer is the most important visualization that you would like to use into your report when you need to analyze the data. For example, if you would like to analyze your report according to a particular slicer, over here for example I'm using this date slicer, then I can over here slide this slicer and I can select my date range. Not only that, if you would like to go for the between, before, after, relative date, all these options are over there. So these are the different slices that you would get to know. For example, if we talk about the list, I can see that this is my list slicer, which is kind of looks cool when you are working on it, and it's giving you a feeling that you are using a button over here. So if I select the France, it's gonna slice your whole report on the basis of the selection that you have selected over here. So that's another point. Now let's select all, so that we are not gonna selecting any data. Now you know how the slices are going to play the crucial part into your report, and they are going to give very interactive and intuitive experience to the end user that they can select. But what kind of slices you have to choose, it's totally up to you. Now I'm going to discuss two very important points over here. One is the interaction of the slicers. Secondly, I'm going to discuss about the drill through and drill down. Those are the most important options in order to filtering out your report, and that you should be very much aware about. Generally what happens whenever you are working on your report, you can select any of the point and then the other reports is going to get filtered. For example, I select over here the Germany, then the report is going to get filtered according to this slicer. But in certain cases you really don't want to filter out one visual by selecting any slicer. So what you can do, first you have to select the slicer, then you have to go to the format pane, and in the format pane you would find edit interaction. So once you will click on that, you will see all the visualizations that are appearing in your report. They have this button over there. One is filtering, another is to stop filtering, that is the stop mark, which is none. For example, if I'll just select this, and then if I'm gonna try to filter it out by this slicer, this one is not gonna impact it at all. So that's what is the interaction is all about. So you can manage with other visualizations as well. And now if you have to again start filtering this according to one slicer, so you come here again and select this filter option. So now you can see that it's gonna filter out by the selection of my slicer, which is the country name. So that's what you can do. Once you are done with that, you can just stop it, and here now you can see that all those stop and filter option has been gone. So this is the way that you can interact with your report. Not only that, suppose you have multiple slicers or the same slicer you are copying into the multiple pages of your report, you can also control the sync option. So what you can do over here, come over here to the view tab, and here you would see the sync slicer. So this is gonna tell you like where this slicer is gonna sync with other pages. So you can select your pages over there, it's gonna sync. So the middle button is sync, and this is for the view. So whether it's gonna be visible or not, so that's all you can control over here. So this was the first part. Second part is coming to the drill down and drill through report. So what you can do, let me select this again over here so that there is no selection. Now on this page, so if I select this visualization over here, you would see on shared axis I have month year and month name. That means all those values that you would like to have in a drill down, that you can drag and drop over here under the shared axis. And over here you will see these two arrows are appearing, and this one also. If you have to go directly, then it's going to expand all. If you have to go one by one, you have to use this arrow. So now since we have only two fields over here, that is month year and month name, so we can directly use this. So this is known as your drill down. However, let's go up. and go one by one. So now you want to go one by one, so then you can only see the month name over here, and you can go up, then you can see month year name over here. Now suppose you also want to filter out your reports for the drill through. That means you would like to see for one particular month here how it's going and what are all the details for this one. So what you can do, just right click over here and then you can go the details page. So the page that you would like to go, you can create that. If you don't know anything about the drill through, please let me know in the comment section so that I can create another video for that particular topic. So here your all report has been filtered out through that one particular month here. Now you can go back, just click on this button, and now you are back to your main page where we have our report. So this is the another part. If you would like to try something really advanced, then you can also create the bookmarks. For example, I'm in my report and over here I would like to create some bookmarks. That means I want to reset all the filters no matter what I apply. So for that you can create a page. You can come under the view tab and here you will see the bookmarks. So click on this bookmarks and here, so this is the data what I have without any filters. So there are no filters have been applied into this report. I can come here, I can click on this add bookmark button and I'm gonna give it a name as reset. So this is going to be my reset bookmark. So let me just update this. And not only that, if you would come here, you would see multiple options have been checked out. So please go through these options one by one and you will get to know a lot of different things about them. If you are confused, if you don't know, if you would like me to create any video over there, please do let me know in the comment section. Okay, so we have created this reset page over here, which is my bookmark. And now what I'm going to do, I'm going to introduce a reset button. So what I can do, again, I'm going to come to the insert tab and here the buttons. So I'm going to take this reset button. Now we are going to go to the format pane and over here we come to the action part and here we would select this action tab over here, and there what we need to do, we have to just select one action, but before that switch it on. Once you would come here, we have to go to the bookmark. Under the bookmark we have to select the page which is our reset page, and then if you would like to apply any tooltip you can put it over there. For example, I'm going to say reset the page. So that's my tooltip over here. Now you can close this pane, we don't need it anymore. So we have done this. Now what I'm going to do in order to test this whether this is going to work or not, so what you can do, you can just select this slicer, select for Mexico, and now you would like to reset these all filters. Now what I'm gonna do, since I haven't published this report, so whenever you have to click on any button or any link, you should use the control on your keyboard. So I'm gonna select control and then click on this button, and you can see that the report layout has been reset. So this is the bookmark, and bookmark you can use it in multiple ways. Not only to reset, you can use it to show a particular view to any particular user or much more. There is a lot to learn in the bookmarks. Now the only part remaining is the DEX filter. So for that we are going to create one very simple DEX where I'm going to filter it out my data based on a year. So I'm going to filter it out the sales for a particular year. So how to do that? For this I'm going to into my fields pane. So in order to use the filters, you should use first calculate, but there is much more to learn. The proper definition of calculate or what it does, you can check the link in the description section for DEX Sunday's tutorial videos, and there you will find everything. Over here, I'm gonna write it very simple so that you can understand. Just close this. Now our measure is ready, 2014 sales, and if I'm gonna create a new page and I'm gonna create this card, and here in this card I'll drag and drop this one, and you can see that the sales for 2014 are 92.31 million. So now if you would like to verify whether this number is correct or not, what you can do, you can select another card visualization, and over there we are going to drag this sales field over here. So right now you can see the total sales is coming 118.73 million. But over here we have to filter it out for 2014. So what you can do, come to the date table, and over here there is a year column, so make it a slicer. Now it's your slicer. Now again you can change it to different ways. So I'm gonna make it a list, and here we can now select 2014 and values should get matched. Now you can see that the values are matching. That means the filter that you have applied into your measure is working perfectly fine. Apply filters to the report structure. We have already seen how you can apply basic, advanced, top, and relative date and relative time. Also, I have explained to you what is lock and what is hide. So you should be aware about them now. If you would like to read this, you can pause your screen and you can read it. Here in this section you will get to know what are the different options in a slices that you find, like I have shown you list drop down between less than equals to greater than equals to plus some operators, that is and or, that you can apply. Design reports with advanced filtering techniques. I have already shown you how you can apply visual instructions, drill through, report tooltip, bookmarks, report options, and query reduction options over there. Consumption time filtering. While report consumers can use many different filter techniques when viewing a Power BI report. For example, as you can see in the screenshot, or if I show you on my desktop, once you would come over here and you would see there's an icon. That means all the filters that has been applied on this visualization you can see over there. Similarly, you can set it reset to default. That means when you are going to publish your report on Power BI desktop, then you have an option to reset to default. So whatever the version that you have published initially, it's going to reset to default. Otherwise, if you want to just reset all the filters, then you can use the bookmarks, as I have shown you how to create a bookmark and how to use it to reset to default. Select report filter techniques. So we have filters pane and we have slicers. Now both has their advantage and disadvantage. So in filtering technique or filters pane, it has its own advantage. For example, the filters pane is consistently located on the right hand side of the report. That means you cannot move it. It's going to be rigid, but always you would find it at one place. It also allows you to apply top and or is blank, is not blank kind of multiple conditions that you cannot do in a slicer. You would also get a search box. That means if you have a lots of values and you want to search, you can type over there and you will get it, which is also not in a slicer, but you can use a custom slicer to get that too. Then also you would get a filters result in a faster report rendering, because no visual rendering is required for this one. Otherwise in a slicer it always take time. That means all the time it's taking to render the data, it's gonna be counted as a report performance. You can also lock and hide your filters, which you cannot do in a slicer. When the apply button is enabled, you can submit all the filter updates at once, resulting in a fewer queries. So that's going to help you. You can use that option. You can go to the settings and there you can enable it. And lastly, you can filter by using measures only at visual level. So these are the advantages of a filter pane, but there are some disadvantages as well. For example, filters pane offers less design flexibilities. Though you can style it by using specific fonts and colors, that's not a problem. You can go to the settings and you can do that. But still, it's not as flexible, as you can move here and there your slicers, and you can also customize its fonts and everything. While using a filters pane, careful consideration should be made to hide certain filters to avoid confusing report consumer. As I mentioned you, when you are using both, report consumers can get confused which one to use, which one not to use. Lastly, a filters pane can be easy to lose track if applied visual label filter. So it's not easy to track it. You have to always click on a particular visual, then you have to check whether you have applied any filters over there or not. So these were some advantages and disadvantages of a filters pane. Now let's back to the slicers. Slicer has many advantages, like you can place it anywhere. Slicers are highly configurable. You can configure even a hierarchical slicer. You can display a selection, like you can adjust the dates over there, as I have shown you on the slicer. You can also use an image URL in a slicer. So there are a couple of advantages of them. Plus you can also use the interaction button to sync your slicers or to interact with the other visuals. So you can particularly stop or start to filter a particular visual with the slicer. However, you cannot do it specifically for the filters pane. However, also there are some of the downsides of the slices pane. For example, slices can have an impact on report render performance due to the visual rendering time, and this is very important, and that's the reason I always suggest you to always use drop down slicer as much as possible. Otherwise, whenever your report is gonna get start rendering, it's gonna take a lot of time to render all those values. Slicers can occupy space on the page that would be used by the data visual, so you won't have much of the space, so you have to always provide, or you have to always give some space to the slicer. And lastly, slicer filtering options are less complex than advanced filtering options that are possible in the filters. For example, the top and or condition, or is blank not blank kind of things, so that you can only do in the filters pane. So guys, here are the quick tips for you. So I request you to please pause your screen and pay attention to these tips while using the filterings in your Power BI reports. And if you have any questions, you can again let me know in the comment section of this video. Now this is the time to check your knowledge. Please have a look at these questions and help me to answer these. You can post your comment in the comment section, and in the next video, I'm gonna provide you the answers of these questions. Thank you so much guys for watching this video. I'm sure you like this video, and after that you can apply filtering techniques very easily and effectively to your Power BI reports. See you in the next video.